Hello everyone, welcome back to Financial TheraPeace. I'm so glad you decided to join me again today. Here we talk about financial education, wellness, and a little bit of spirituality, all together to help attain financial freedom and transform lives. If this is your first time joining me, welcome and thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe below right now and leave me some comments to let me know what you think, and definitely like the video. Today we'll be talking about how to not only survive but thrive during any type of economic crisis or tough time. When I first decided to cover this topic, I thought I would be discussing how to recession-proof your finances. But then I realized we're already here right now in a crisis period, so it's best to talk about what to do when you're here. Whatever your situation may be, I want to discuss some tips here that could help you not only to just get through this, but to come out better than you were before. One thing we have to admit and accept is that crises do happen, whether economic or otherwise. There's so many things that are out of our control and we can't do anything about these situations. But we have to remember that they don't last always. This is just a season. It will pass. So the best thing we can do is to hold on so that we could withstand the situation and outlast it and come out better at the end. Outside of planning and preparing for potential financial crisis, the one thing that we could definitely control is our minds. We can control what we think about it, how we react, and our emotions. A crisis period could be a great opportunity for growth and development. During these times, our creativity, resourcefulness, and genius can come out if we allow it to. The good news is you have everything you need to get started, survive, and be successful in a crisis period or any other time. And that is your mind. Your mind is available to you for free. Just know that every single product or business started from a thought and an idea, and if you take action, then the sky is the limit and you could make anything happen. First, let's talk about how resourcefulness and creativity can emerge from economic crisis to the form of businesses. I don't know about you, but I've heard of a lot of businesses that have started during this pandemic, and COVID-19 is quite different from regular economic crisis because we have been forced to spend a lot of time alone, at home, away from all the normal distractions in life in a way that no other crisis have forced us to. People started reprioritizing their values and going back to the basics, to who they are and what's important to them. And we've had less distraction and more time on our hands than we did before. COVID has created this unique space where preparation meets opportunity, time, and purpose. The collision of these factors have created the perfect opportunity to blossom. Prime example of this is me starting Financial TheraPeace. I studied finance and psychology 20 years ago. Yet it's not until 2 months ago that I had the brilliant idea of looking at financial management from a psychological perspective. And I have COVID-19 to thank for that, because being in this pandemic situation and stuck at home, I was looking for inspiration, and that caused that idea to form in my head, and I had more time to actually plan and execute this idea. Sometimes we think that if the economy isn't doing well, then there's no reason to start a business, or it's the worst time to start. Actually, there are many successful businesses that get started during an economic crisis. A prime example of this is Airbnb, that was started during the 2007 and 2008 recession. These two roommates who had trouble covering their rent decided to let people stay in their homes and sleep on their air mattress so they could make some extra cash. And the economic downturn actually helped them out because people couldn't afford to pay for hotel accommodations. one. And two, homeowners who had extra rooms could rent them out to other people and make some extra money to cover their mortgages. I mean, it was a win-win situation for everyone. And they succeeded in an economic crisis. There are tons of other businesses that were started because someone lost their jobs or they were, in tough times. And a lot of businesses can still thrive depending on its nature during economic crisis. And one thing to remember is that most businesses are developed to solve a problem. And the creativity and resourcefulness that can come out of being in a desperate financial situation could definitely bring some amazing ideas. I've often heard that your purpose in life could be the problems that make you the most upset, the things that make your blood boil, that you just can't seem to ignore, could be leading you to finding your purpose. Instead of being overwhelmed by problems, visionaries see problems as opportunity. Companies like Time Shoes was started because someone saw a problem that they just could not ignore and they felt like they had to do something about it. The founder was on a trip and he saw such extreme poverty that he needed to do something about. And so he decided to start a shoe company where he could donate one pair of shoe for every one that he sells. Uber is another example. It was started because the founder had trouble catching a taxi and he thought like the price of taxis were so high. So he decided to create this ride sharing app that would allow people to find rides at a much cheaper price and more convenient way than they would with regular taxis. So think about a problem that is tugging at your heart, and that could be a great way for you to start a company or business or service that could solve that problem. Another resourceful idea is to use your hobbies or skill to create your own job and income. So many people have amazing talents that they are not using that could bring them such financial success and life joy. My favorite story about monetizing a hobby or a skill is the furlough cheesecake story. I don't know if you've heard of it, but their sisters were furloughed during the last government shutdown in the US. And they had all the financial obligations and stress that we all do when we have no income coming in. One of the sisters makes amazing cheesecake and her sister tasted it and thought, oh my goodness, this is so good that we could sell this. And they did, because they didn't have a job to go to. They weren't getting paid. So they created this business during that period and they never went back to their jobs because that business just took off. And it has been so successful. So think about some skills that you have that can be monetized. And especially if you're home and you have time on your hand, try to develop that idea to create income from those skills and from those hobbies. Another idea is to offer your skills online. Nowadays, everything is happening online because people are not interacting as much. So if you have some technical skills, there are websites like Fiverr and Upwork where you could offer your services. You could become a virtual assistant, offer some lessons online, tutoring. There's so many opportunities online that you could take advantage of if you have a skill that could benefit from that. Okay, this pandemic period is the perfect time to learn some new skills or to improve your current ones. You can also use the time for your personal and professional development. What I love so much about life these days is that we have access to so much information. A lot of it is for free or for very cheap. You literally could learn how to do anything online. Between YouTube and Google, every topic is covered. So take that time to learn a skill that could benefit your economic growth and your personal development. Another great resource is your library. They have some amazing online resources for you that could help you grow your skills. I just found out that my library has access to Universal Class and lynda.com, where you could watch videos on any topic from child psychology to home decorating, and you can actually get continuing education credit for those. They're all available for you for free. So take advantage of these resources to use them to build your skill set. And there are also a lot of websites like Udemy and Khan Academy. Google and Microsoft also offer a lot of free courses online, and some of them do give you credit as well. And YouTube, I call it a university. I mean, you could learn anything from YouTube these days too. So use your time wisely. I know you're stressed. You might just want to binge on Netflix all day, but try to balance it out and spend some of your time building your skill set so that at the end of COVID, you could come out a new person with skill set that you didn't start with. One skill set that I would suggest you learn about, especially now, is how to grow, manage, and invest your money. Despite the economic crisis, the market has been doing really, really well after the initial March decline. There are companies that have thrived during the pandemic. Companies like Amazon, Google, Netflix, and Zoom have actually benefited from this crisis. We're home, we can't go to the store, we're ordering from Amazon. Who isn't using Zoom nowadays for video conferences? So you could think about what companies could benefit from a particular crisis and invest in those. And don't worry, if you don't have money to invest right now, that doesn't mean that you cannot learn those skills so that when you do have that extra money, then you could start investing. The other thing is, you can make money whether the market is going up or down. So don't worry about that at all. You just have to learn how to get in and when to get out. And that could help you to make better decisions with your investment. And the whole purpose of talking about the importance of learning how to invest is so that you can create multiple streams of income so that you're not dependent on just one salary. You may have your side hustle where you're monetizing a hobby, you have some investments on the side, you have real estate, or you have different possibilities of bringing in income that's not only dependent on your 9-to-5 job. One last thing I'd like to touch upon is that governments, organizations, and businesses are offering assistance to help people through these tough times. So if you need assistance and you feel like you're drowning, do not close your eyes and avoid the situation. Look to see what is available to you. Even like family and friends and strangers are willing to help during these tough times. So do not feel ashamed. Do not be too afraid to ask. Seek help if you need to, because there are a lot of resources out there to help you. I hope that you got some good ideas from this video today, or it got you thinking about a different way to approach this crisis. Though we cannot control economic crisis, we don't know when they're going to happen. What we can control is how prepared we are for those uncertainties, and two, once we're in them, to continue to look for resourceful and creative ways to deal with whatever problems we're facing. Like I mentioned, there are so many opportunities in desperate times or in economic crisis. So look into what skills you have that you can monetize, what skills that you could learn during this time that you could help you in the future, and look into all the resources that are available to you that can help you grow and develop and thrive during this crisis. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please don't forget to subscribe below, like, and definitely leave me some comments to tell me what you thought of this video. I can't wait to talk to you again very soon. I'm wishing you lots of love and peace. You take care now. Bye-bye.